John Young brought up a real interesting topic in the last week or so, and that is the possibility of a future of non dancing events. And before I get into talking about this too much, I just want to emphasize a couple of things. First of all, I am not an infectious disease expert, nor am I a politician or a fortune teller. So, with that in mind, let's proceed. So, it seems like we've been given three choices. One choice is to not do events at all, just cancel everything. And nobody has a wedding and no DJs work. The second choice is to pretend nothing's happening and go about business as usual, or exactly how we did things last year. No social distancing, dancing, drinking, parties at capacity, that kind of thing. The problem with that is it's really not realistic. I know some people are doing it right now. The problem is the people who are doing it, if you look forward a week or two, there's outbreaks in those areas. Like it or not, that's happening. So to err on the side of caution, I don't really want to participate in that anytime soon. What you do is your business. I'm not judging anybody, but that's where I'm at on this. Number three is to do everything kind of like we did, but put social distancing guidelines and safety precautions in place for the venues, for the partiers, and for the DJ, right? So here's the problem I have with that fundamentally. If we try to just go back to the way they were with social distancing in mind, what we're essentially doing is asking people to safely, responsibly social distance at a social gathering with alcohol. Now, that doesn't make any sense. Any place that's opened up, the argument has been, oh, people will do the right thing and businesses will do the right thing. You don't have to tell us what to do. And then what happens? Bars are full. It's just not working. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And, again, I'm not trying to get political here, but I feel like we need to err on the side of caution here for ourselves and for others, just to be responsible. So back to what John Young was talking about. How about reimagining a party where we're actually socially distancing? We've got people here, we got people 6 feet over here, we got people 6 feet over here, and they're not dancing events. It's funny because I know in the past I've talked about music, and there have been some bands or some songs that I've talked about that you typically not play at a gig, and the argument has been, look, I don't even need to know that music, Brian, because it's not on the Moby Top 200, it's not something somebody will dance to, so even the knowledge of that music is a waste of my time. Until now. Maybe now is the time where it would be a really good idea to know these songs and to know stuff that people not only like but enjoy listening to, but doesn't particularly promote dancing. And a really good example of that, and I hate to sound like a broken record, is yacht rock. Yeah, that's just one example, but typically yacht rock isn't dancing music, it's listening music, and people enjoy it. And you may like or dislike yacht rock, but Jay Brennan did a party, I think it was on Friday. He did a driveway party in his neighborhood, and he did all yacht rock, and he got the best response from the neighbors that he's gotten, I guess, throughout the entire month where he's been doing these parties. So they liked it, they weren't dancing, but they were enjoying the music. Maybe something like that is in our future. Maybe knowing songs that aren't just dancing songs would be a wise thing to do right now. Kind of get to know these songs or refresh yourself, refresh your memory on what these songs might be. Now, you may say that, hey, people will dance to anything. It doesn't matter what I play, they're going to dance. And yeah, I guess people will dance to any old song. And if you don't believe me, ever been to a Jimmy Buffett concert? I mean, if you can dance to Jimmy Buffett, you can dance to anything. So although I do agree that, you can't keep people from dancing, I think what you can do is discourage people from doing the electric slide by not playing the electric slide. Yeah, I know, I got a fire on my grill. These burgers, this is ground beef. It's like 72% fat, so they're going to shrink up. Not ideal, but yeah, they'll turn out okay. I'm multitasking, by the way, today. So you can play songs that aren't particularly dancing songs, but they're songs that people enjoy. Another idea that I've heard is to do party games at the table, where the DJ is talking on the microphone and doing trivia or doing games or whatever. Yeah, that's an option too. Something else you can do is play songs that promote what I would call chair dancing. You could do the YMCA sitting in chair, and you could even probably do the twist sitting in your chair and still have social distancing. Now, why is this so important that social distancing happens? There are venues out there, not in every region, but in some regions, where they have rules they have to go by to be open at all. They've got rules for food, they've got rules for beverage, and they have rules for what they call cabaret, which is the dancing part of what happens at a venue. And you have to have a license in most places to have cabaret where people dance. And if your municipality or your city or your state or your county or whatever says you can't have dancing at your venue, and there is dancing, the venue will probably shut you down. Because if they don't, they could risk losing their cabaret license, which is not what they want to do, because someday things will be relatively back to normal and they will be able to have dancing again. So nobody wants to risk that. There have been instances where people have lost licenses over this stuff for being irresponsible. And I think that venues are taking a close look at this. They don't want to completely ruin things when this is, for the most part, over with. So they're not taking those risks. So you might not have a choice but to hold, non-dancing events. It may not be something that you want to do. It may not be something the client wants to do. But I think if you do it responsibly and if you do it well, I think you could pull it off. And I think people would really enjoy themselves. I've had parties before where no one's danced. I've thrown parties where no one's danced, and that was the point. I played music that was just nice to listen to. I wasn't playing the cha-cha slide. I wasn't trying to promote dancing, but I was trying to just play cool songs, And yeah, they went really well. I was really happy with the results. And I've had gatherings before where we're just, kind of spinning different types of music, be it yacht rock or whatever. Maybe it's just top 40, maybe it's 80s. Whatever, just stuff that isn't necessarily encouraging people to dance. And again, those parties have done incredibly well. So it is possible. It's not all about the Mobile Beat Top 200. And regardless as to what you've been told, I don't think it's all about dancing. I think sometimes it's just about having fun. And one way to think about this, I believe, and I think John did this, instead of thinking about you, the DJ, having something to do at an event, and then trying to situate the event around you, maybe the thing to do is to take yourself out of the equation for a minute and think about how an event can take place without you. And then see if you can complement the event. That might be an interesting way to think about this. I don't know. Just some ideas, guys. And, that's all we got right now are ideas. Again, not an infectious disease expert, politician, or a fortune teller, but I'm trying to be part of the solution. I'm trying to come up with some ideas that could work. There are some brilliant things out there right now, like drive-by parties. Some people are doing the whole drive-in movie thing. I think that's going to end, I believe I think they said June 12th. The Motion Picture Association is going to kind of put the kibosh on it, but for now, they can still do that. People are doing live streams. There's some clever ideas out there. And who's to say that you're not the person who's going to come up with the one thing that's going to be brilliant for not only us in the events industry, but for our audiences. So anyway, that's it. And here are my burgers with Munster cheese on them. They turned out all right. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. I'm going to go eat, practice, and enjoy.